Okay, ladies and gentlemen, mission briefing for Operation Iron Dagger, aka Task Force 238. Okay, um, overview of the mission. ISIS forces are operating within Syrian territory, have recently acquired a limited number of ex-Iraqi military aircraft. That includes Su-24 aircraft and a MiG-29As and several light aircraft such as MiG-21s and Lu-39s. Um, their operational status is unknown at this time, but the presence of these platforms represents a significant escalation in the region and its potential to destabilize the entire region. Ground forces on the ground consist of primarily irregular flight fighters equipped with small arms, light vehicles, and AAA. Um, at this point, we don't know if they're serviceable or not. While no modern SAM systems have been identified at this time, the presence of manpads cannot be ruled out. Expect sporadic and determined resistance. Two, so 238 is the only available strike element in the region, consisting of capable of responding within a required time frame. Rapid and coordinated action is essential to prevent ISIS from establishing this option. So the mission, Task Force 238, is to conduct a deep strike operation to neutralize an enemy airfield. The idea is to destroy its ability to conduct air operations, eliminate key military infrastructure, and secondary objectives include destruction of command and control nodes, vehicle storage, troop garrisons, barracks, and fuel storage. Targets of operation opportunity may be engaged if munitions allow and risk is minimal. Okay, so for departure, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we have strike flight here in the uppermost right. So we've got 2-1 and 2-2. Sorry, strike 1-1 and 1-2 with a spare. That's myself and Vader. We will be leading the group. Vader is my wingman. Myself as overseeing the entire operation. Here we have Tiger Flight, which will consist of 4 F-18s conducting high-level close air support, led by Steven. Now, in the rear, here on the far left, we have Strike 2-2 Flight, not to be confused with 2-1, with 1-1, which I have just proven that I'm confusing it. Their tasking is also the same as the Hornets. Okay, so initially we will be allowing the tankers and the AWACS to depart the airfield before us. They will depart 05 and head out towards the objective. Our initial goal will be to RV with all flights in these areas here. Please line up in your associated squadrons. Myself and Vader will take 6-9 and 6-8. The following Vipers will take all the way through to the 6-4, and then the Hornets will follow suit where they can find space. This is just to ensure that we're all grouped up, ready to go in order, as the flight is poised to try and look like just a transiting flight of aircraft out of the region. So initially we will climb to around 25,000, following the flight plan, and keeping with the tankers as they transit across to the mission area. So cruising speed will be around 300 to 320 knots, give or take a few knots depending on wind. It'll be very, very uneventful on the way down, as again, anyone looking out of any of these radar sites will be just assuming that we're transiting out of the area. We do have a backup airfield here just in case of issues with the refueling at the latter end of the mission, but we'll cover that more in a moment. So here is where the tankers are going to split off an anchor. There is an MRPS or a boom. Sorry, there's a boom and there is a drogue setup with one AWACS as well. Call signs and radio frequencies will be given out just prior to the mission. Um, Once they have anchored, we are going to continue down along the route. As you can see at this point, strike 1-1 and 1-2 will conduct the initial infill, conducting a low level strike onto the airfield. So we're going to disable the runway prior to any potential fire launches. Once we have done this, we will climb back up and provide overhead support for the rest of the strike element. So both elements will then proceed to target their designated slots, which we'll run over now. So strike 2-2, 2-1, 2-3, and 2-4. Your targets are the bombers and the two MiG-29s that seem to be parked on the ramp. Tiger Flight, your initial targets and most prized will be this area here. You are looking for any buildings, any potential important sources such as power, command, control towers, along with these vehicles here. Follow-up missions and tertiary objectives will be these helos here, along with any of these AAA sites. Now, due to fuel and time constraints, we will not be able to provide strafing runs. So once you are Winchester, you are to follow out towards waypoint 7, 8, and then back over to the tankers. By the time we all exfil to the tankers, we should be pretty dry, so we're going to need to refuel pretty quickly. Once we've done that, we will depart as a group back to Ilkarnik, and we'll land and debrief at that point. One thing I forgot to cover is we will be departing 2-3 to save on fuel as well, instead of having to turn around. For the most part, it should be fairly uneventful. No enemy air fighters are determined at this time. However, that could change over the coming days. The situation is very, very dynamic in nature, so there is a chance for anything, so just be aware. And if you've got any questions, please reach out to your flight leads or command, and they will answer away. But yeah, best of luck, gentlemen.